I've been knowing Horace since I've been about 18 or 19 years old. So that was back in 1960. But I first met him in 1958 at Birdland. He didn't know me then, but I went down to see him, because I've always been a fan of his, even back in the early 50s. I had some of his early records. I guess we hooked up musically from the time that he knew Andy and the Bassists, because we worked opposite him at Storyville in Boston in 1960 at George Weins Club, who used to manage Andy and the Bassists. And we worked opposite Horace's quintet, opposite Max's quintet and Ornette Coleman's quintet or whatever. It was really interesting month or 2 months we had down there. And I've been associated with Horace ever since, because he gave me tunes years ago before I ever even recorded with him. He gave me the lyrics to Sister Sadie, which we recorded, me and my sisters. I've been knowing Horace since then, and we've always been, sort of like spiritual friends in a sense. He's always been in my corner, We've always had mutual admiration for each other, It's very enjoyable for me because his music is always positive. It's always saying something, but like we were talking about earlier, it's difficult to get something spiritual across to a media that just doesn't want to deal with that all the time because they think they know what the media, what the public wants, But you have to, if you believe in something, strong enough, you just stick with it. And Horace is very strong in his convictions, you can, I feel very, I could say the word safe, but I feel very, in a way, protected in a sense. It's wonderful to have that kind of ally because we're sort of like in the same mold in a sense, we complement each other, It's very inspiring to work with somebody, like him, who's trying to say something positive, He got the idea. He was looking for singers at that time, and he was auditioning singers like crazy. So he heard us, and we went by his house, and he auditioned me first. Like I'm on the first record and the second. When Salami's on, I'm on all three of the records, but Salami was used on the last two. And by that time, and he was aware of us, and he chose us to do the date, and it worked out fine, it worked out great, as a matter of fact, I still like the Healing Feeling, for my work, the best.
This way or that, which way should I go to find a happy medium? Would help me, I know. I need someone to show me the road to find a happy medium to lighten my load. You came along to show me the way to find a happy medium to brighten my day. Thank you, my friend, for being so kind. I found a happy medium right here in my mind.
I mean, I didn't feel as comfortable on total response as I'd like to have been, And I thought all was all right, on my part. But I just sort of like the Healing Feeling. That's sort of like my pet record, in terms of the tunes. And, I just felt more at ease during those songs, It was a great experience for both me and my sister, because it's always fun, like I said, working with family. It's sort of like a little reunion in a sense, and I could see the growth in myself and in Salome, When I did it, I never tried to be pretentious about it. I never said that I'm going to try to be, to prove anything, that I'm this or that. I was trying to be holier than thou. It first started out of me just doing the job. Gary had these tunes that he wanted to be recorded, and they just happened to have messages to them. But I wouldn't, I just went in with the idea of I'm going to do the music. I mean, I like what the lyrics were saying, but it wasn't saying, well, I got to say this message to prove to the world that I'm this or that. I mean, it wasn't about that. It was just me going into the studio and doing something that was positive and that was that. And then people started making me saying that I was a voice of the spirit or the voice of, trying to make me, because I don't like to create false impressions, because I'm a human being just like everybody else. I have my faults and but I'm no different from everybody else, I have the same kind of frustrations that everybody else has, more or less. And people walk up to you and they seem to want to put you in a bag, And I was only known for doing that type of music. But they don't realize that I sang the blues or sang other things before that. But they associate me with spirituality and all that.
Those distant eyes that look at you, they're focusing another view. What do you think the trouble be with eyes that look but do not see? The ear that is preoccupied is difficult to open wide. How can you get the picture clear if when one speaks you do not hear? Won't you open up your senses and eliminate pretenses while the source of all enhances every aspect of your life? The tongue that has the taste we lack is like a whip upon the back. Why can't we taste their point of view and measure what we say and do? The turned up nose that thinks we're great will blow our heads all out of shape. That thing we smell that's oh so crude could really be our attitude. Won't you open up your senses and eliminate pretenses while the source of all enhances every aspect of your life? Those plastic smiles upon your face while going through the same old pace. Oh, where can be the inner glow when facial muscles tighten so? Those hands that touch but do not feel, that they want someone inside. Won't you open up your senses and eliminate pretenses while the sauce of all enhances every aspect of your life, of your life, of your life, of your life.
I mean, it's nice to be able to be respected, mind you. I'm not looking down on it, but damn, I'm still I'm a human being just like everybody else, and I'm no angel, and I never pretended to be, and I still don't pretend to be. But people just put you in this straitjacket, In one hand, it's beautiful, but on the other hand, I can be disturbed by it sometimes, Even though I still write songs, it inspired me to write material in that vein. I call it getting to what I would like to convey. I'm not saying I'm at that point where I can live what I've written in terms of lyrics, but I mean, I'm striving for that point in my life, who knows, maybe I might have gotten to it, but you just don't like to create these impressions, sometimes, that people have of you, because the minute you break or something, it seems like the people are so shocked to find that you're not this, and you're not that, that you're just a human being. They always look at an artist as bigger than life, or a lot of artists, and not even thinking that they do the same thing that you do. They function like you do in every way. They have to eat and sleep, go to the bathroom, whatever. So much for my soapbox. Bill Fisher was a very great help for me in terms of the Atlantic recordings. He produced the album. He's a great arranger and producer and great synthesizer player, and just an all-around musician. He produced for Cannonball and Joe Zawinul. He's from New Orleans. Well, he was born in Mississippi, but he grew up in New Orleans. In fact, him and Ellis Marsalis, were good friends. He knew Wynton and all that, because he had 4 boys too, and Ellis got 4 or 5 boys. And they all grew up together, and they all, knew each other very well, Anyway, he helped me in more ways than one, in terms of, production, in terms of pacing myself in the album, and he encouraged me in terms of my writing, and I did 6 of my tunes on the album, And he wrote 6 tunes along with this young lady by the name of Pat Evans.
Trying to find contentment and striving for peace of mind. It's a lifetime struggle deep down in the depth of your soul. It's surviving from day to day, doing all that you can. Gotta move on in spirit, 'cause we know there's always hope. We'll get what's coming to us in the end, good or bad. When the final moment comes, then you will know, my friend. Better cleanse your mind and soul, rid yourself of shame. Have to make a choice, do it while you can.
think it's really the best thing I've done in terms of how they mixed my voice on the record, because they just let me come in there and sing, and it wasn't no thing of saying, well, because my voice is big, and most record companies, producers tend to want to make me sound smaller. I mean, even though I liked Gary Bartz's records and the concept of what we were doing, I was never quite satisfied with the sound always, because I could never get them to just let the sound be what it is. If it's, I'm not saying I got to sound like, that you got to leave me out there so much where I overshadow everybody else, but don't mix it so far back, because in the studio it sound like one thing, but when I hear it on the record, it would never quite sound like me, but the Atlantic records, they really let me, let that mix be. And I think it really came off in terms of, sound-wise, even though some people claim that it was commercial, it was an attempt to try to reach a wider market, but I mean, I think the music was still artistically pliable in the sense that it was saying something, spiritually.
Got me down in the dumps, feeling blue. Don't know what I'm gonna do, feeling empty inside. I wanna cry. Being uptight can make wrong seem right. Temptation's coming on strong, must hold on. Gotta occupy my mind. Sometimes I have to give in. Is it a sin? Being uptight can make wrong seem right. Why do I always pay these dues? Tell me why I got the blues. I hate to sit and complain all the time. Nobody's to blame. Should count my blessings and use some self-control. But being uptight can make wrong seem right. To sit and complain all the time. Nobody is to blame. Should count my blessings and use some self-control. Being uptight can make wrongs seem right. Being uptight can make wrongs seem right. Being uptight can make wrongs seem right. Being uptight can make wrongs seem right.
They didn't give us no budget to do this album. I mean, we had to do everything. Bill got one string player, and he overdubbed like 3 or 4 times, on some of the tunes. Like, they never give artists, like in the beginning, a lot of money in terms of production. I mean, most of the time, if it's after your second album, and only if the first album is a hit,
Yeah.
Because you listen to Aretha's first album, it was very sparse. Roberta Flack's first album, very sparse. They both recorded for Atlantic for many years, but it wasn't until afterwards that they got money to do bigger production, and more time, but thanks to Bill Fisher's expertise and, playing the synthesizer and, overall and, knowing how to pick the right musicians to fit. Even Downbeat gave the album just a lukewarm review, which is, that ain't really nothing as far as I'm going to say. What's a downbeat? Some people call it deadbeat. But I mean, I guess it serves its purpose. But, you have to look at a record on its own terms, I mean, I thought the record was a good record, I mean, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I felt satisfied with it. And I don't expect everybody to love it because I love it, but anybody with ears can hear that the record was well produced. And if they would have known what we had to go through in terms of the production and the little bit of money that they gave us, I mean, what they give people to record with now, I mean, like a rock artist can stay in the studio for 50 years on one track and still don't get nothing. I mean, we worked wonders for the little budget that they gave us. It was, I really was amazed at what Bill Fisher done, and plus we rehearsed to learn the tunes. And I mean, I thought we did a hell of a job.